The bell rings. Dan Engler, the referee. And I was mentioning how Nick Aldis, who defeated AJ Styles in AJ Styles' last TNA match to become the TNA World Champion. I mention that because Gunther ended the career of AJ Styles earlier this year at the Royal Rumble, which is the same pay-per-view or premium live event, should I say, that the Phenomenal One made his debut at just 10 years prior. This is an opportunity for Nick Aldis to show that he's more than just a SmackDown general manager, that he can still go in the ring. 3 years. 3 years since Aldis has been inside the squared circle. This time, it's a first for Aldis in a WWE ring. Is Aldis fully prepared? Gunther competes at the highest level week in and week out. Gunther doing some mockery, showboating on the announce desk, trying to get into the head of Aldis. Aldis staying in the ring. He's not going to fall for the trap to go to the outside onto the floor. The reason we're here is because Gunther was tired of Aldis costing him multiple title opportunities. And this has been building even longer than that. Gunther has always been frustrated with Aldis. And when you abuse somebody who doesn't want to use their power to physically do something about it, eventually they're going to snap. And here we are. Nick Aldis is ready to compete. That only infuriated Aldis. After that chop, Aldis explodes out of the corner and just hammering away. Up and over. Catching Gunther. Caught, blocked. Dropped. Aldis goes for a cover. Gunther manages to kick out. Was thinking Kingsland Cloverleaf. That Cloverleaf that has won so many titles for Nick Aldis. A submission you never want to be in. A position you certainly don't want to be in. Meanwhile, position you don't want to be in was that chop that Gunther just nailed with on Nick Aldis, sent Aldis off the top all the way to the floor. Gunther is fighting for the opportunities that he feels he never got, that he feels were stolen from him. Aldis is a man driven by the fact that he is sick of it. That is Nick Aldis's wife, of course, WWE legend, hardcore country Mickie James, and their son Donovan ringside watching close. An emotional moment just to get to see Nick Aldis wrestle in a WWE ring. He mentioned it on Chris Van Vliet's podcast. This is all I've ever, this is all I've ever wanted. Having an opportunity like this, not knowing if it was actually going to happen. But here we are. It doesn't get to happen like this for everybody, where your first match in WWE is on SummerSlam. SummerSlam is up there. It's the second biggest event of the year behind WrestleMania. If it's not WrestleMania that people are talking about, it's SummerSlam. People are talking about what's happening in the summertime. That's the biggest party of the summer, and it has that name for a reason. Nick Aldis is experiencing the brutality of the chops from Gunther. Aldis starting to fight back at the ring general. The National Treasure gets sent into the corner hard by the ring general. There have been no warm-up matches for Aldis. Is it a lesson to celebrate, or is it going to be a lesson learned? There's one thing to do it when you're training. There's one thing to do it when you're in front of a crowd, when you're in front of tens of thousands of screaming WWE fans. The atmosphere is different. There's a lot more pressure on you to do your best, to succeed. Trying to lock in that Klingsman. The Kingslet. Yeah, it's that Cloverleaf. Instead, this is the sleeper that has put so many away. And this is the true career killer. If Gunther's not the career killer, it's his sleeper hold that is. Goldberg, John Cena, and most recently at SummerSlam, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Can you imagine? Gunther ends it all for Nick Aldis on Aldis' very first night in the ring as a competitor in WWE. Aldis doing his best to feed off the crowd. Gunther heading up high. Gets caught by Aldis. Aldis. Oh my. Superplex. Crash and burn. A rough landing for both men. Harsh landing. First it was that clothesline from Gunther. Superplex from Aldis. These two know what it means to fight at the highest level. This may be Aldis' first match in WWE, but it certainly isn't his first rodeo. Aldis getting "you still got it" chance. Aldis fights back. Gunther trying to get in the first shots. Aldis was able to duck and hit shots of his own. Again, Aldis breaks through. Clothesline that drops the ring general, but the ring general fights back with a clothesline of his own. The ring general. Gunther got taken out. Aldis has Gunther up on his shoulders. Running power slam, much like one of his idols, the British Bulldog. But Gunther kicks out. The British Bulldog, a man that Aldis attributes to him pursuing a career in professional wrestling, and more specifically, Wembley Stadium SummerSlam 1992. Bret the Hitman Hart and British Bulldog colliding for the Intercontinental Championship. Off the top. Nobody home. Oh, and a boot to the leg. Scooping and slamming the ring general. The National Treasure is looking impressive. Aldis has a little bit of a struggle there. Elbow drop comes in hot. He got all of it too. Aldis, can he do it in his first match first match in 3 years? Gunther was not prepared for it to end this way. Kingsland Cloverleaf coming right up. As I said earlier, a move that has won Aldis so many world titles. It's going to go from bad to worse. Can you imagine? Talk about shattered dreams. This could become a nightmare for Gunther. Gunther finds the bottom rope. Aldis not ready to let go. Frustrating for Nick Aldis. Gunther managed to survive and make it to the bottom rope. Nick, you got to stay on it. You can't let it, that moment, get in your head thinking you had it won, but Gunther managed to get to the bottom rope. Stay on the ball. You can see the exhaustion settling in. Oh, Aldis sent into the turbo. Oh, sleeper, but not today. Aldis has a sleeper. Aldis. Oh, but a separation created with a Saito suplex. Spiking powerbomb, stacking up Aldis. Aldis is not done. Here comes the elbows from the ring general. This is where it gets bad. When there's nowhere to run, when there's nowhere to hide, when you are stuck in no man's land. It's all wrapped up like a Christmas present, but Aldis does not want to stay down. Aldis does not want to let this opportunity go to waste. Fighting back up is Aldis, but Aldis goes right back down. That's it. That's it. Aldis with no choice but to tap out. Nick Aldis may not have won this match, but he certainly killed it on his first night. Got to give credit where credit is due. Aldis had an impressive showing. Gunther thought this was going to be easy. It was going to be done. It was going to be over. And the thing about it is, it wasn't as easy as Gunther thought it to be. Nick Aldis. Hats off to Nick Aldis and his moment to shine at the biggest party of the summer. When we first saw this, Aldis had a sleeper counter, got caught in a Saito suplex, then got drilled by the power bomb, stacked up. Nick still managed to stay in it. This was game over, though. Aldis had no choice at the end but to tap out. Like many that have come before him, once Gunther gets the sleeper, it is game over. The ring general is victorious here at SummerSlam.